I hopped in my truck and drove north. It was Sunday, November 17th, 2019. I was returning to my home state of Maine, heading to my father's cabin for a quick 2-day trip. I had just Monday and Tuesday to hunt, but my plan was scouting in preparation for my upcoming vacation. Monday morning, I did a quick hang and hunt. I saw a young buck cruise right underneath my tree stand. It was a good start, and likely a sign of more good things to come for my season in Maine. I climbed down from the tree stand, packed up my gear, hiked out to the truck, and ventured off to a new area I previously hadn't yet explored. The new area showed good sign. Putting on many miles, I found a pocket of light snow. Next I came upon some tracks, which soon turned into a deer run. Following the tracks, I came to a brook.
Alright, here we are. I'm about ready to cross the brook. Just beat and run just downstream. I'm gonna try to get across this big hill on the other side. I don't know how this is gonna go. I'm gonna try to tape my boots for the first time. Wish me luck.
On the other side of the brook, I got a feeling about the new woods and hoped the spot I had found was the one I was searching for.
Trail finally.
My short stay in Maine had come to an end. I returned to New Hampshire, but had left a cell cam where the tracks crossed the brook. After telling my dad there was some promising sign by the brook, I soon received pictures of him hunting the area. After being away a week, the time had finally come to drive back north. It was now the day before Thanksgiving. Upon meeting my dad at his cabin and getting settled in, we discussed our plans for the following day. There was snow in the forecast, and when he asked me what my plan for the morning was, I said, I'm just going to walk up and shoot one. We went to bed that night, and I had high hopes that I would wake the next morning with fresh snow on the ground. I was awakened by the sound of my dad rocking the recliner downstairs. My alarm hadn't gone off. It was already daylight, and I rushed to get going.
Getting out of camp. Well, I'm about to cross the brook. This was a crossing earlier when I was here a week ago. I'm getting ready to go across it. Got the boots taped up. Hopefully I'll find some tracks on the other side. It looks like more mature woods. So that's what I'm hoping about. Let's hope I don't get my feet wet while I'm crossed. Fingers crossed.
After crossing the brook, I found a buck track. It wasn't the biggest buck track, but I decided to follow it anyways, because it looked like it could be one of those that might go 200. After a short while, it zigged and it zagged, telling me this buck was about to bed down. And sure enough, up on the next hill, I found his bed. His tracks were running leaving the bed, but I had hoped he wouldn't go far and I could sneak up on it. I had done it. I had tracked down a big woods buck. There he laid in the snow. I had gone just over an hour on his track. It was exactly 1 mile. We met 40 yards apart, face to face. I put one shot into his shoulder. He sprinted straight at me, running by less than 10 yards. He ran head on to a spruce tree and dropped in the snow. Now the work begins. Time to get the buck out of the woods. I called my dad up and said, "Sometimes you just gotta walk up and shoot him." He couldn't believe what he was hearing. I drove out to meet up with my dad on the Maine logging road. Next, we came up with a game plan, trying to figure out how to best get the buck out of the woods. We decided we'd better head into town and try to find a plastic sled. We got real lucky driving up upon a friend, Brian Hartman. He was pulled over on the side of the road using his cell phone to make a phone call, and sticking out of the bed of his truck from behind his ATV, there was a plastic sled. We told Brian we were going to commandeer his sled. He offered to help and decided to tag along on the extraction mission. The three of us drove to the trucks as close as we could get to the brook. My dad and I went on foot, deciding to go ahead while Brian unloaded his ATV and got in position, waiting for us to return from the other side of the brook. My dad and I made it back to the buck. We celebrated, and we took some pictures. It was time to make the drag out. My dad and I put the buck in the sled and got ready for the long walk back to the brook.
Whew, yeah. The drag out. What do you think, Dad?
Yeah.
Buck behind us still? Whew.
The next morning, I headed to the nearest tagging station. We hoisted the buck up on the scales, and sure enough, he was another patch buck, weighing 209 pounds. Back at camp, we hung him up on the game pole, my old man took some more pictures, and then I got ready to make the drive back to New Hampshire. Back at home, while cutting up the buck, we found a bullet lodged just inside of the opposite hide from where the bullet had entered, and as you can see, the bullet mushroomed perfectly. After sending out the teeth, I learned the buck's age was 6.5. Additionally, we discovered Brian had game camera pictures of this buck the year before in 2018. The distance from where I killed the buck and where Brian got the pictures were 9.5 miles apart. Thank you for watching.